I'll be honest with you. I'm getting quite excited for Easter. I've had my first Easter eggs of the year this week. I love a cream egg. Anyway, sorry, it's just on my mind. Right, we're not here to talk about chocolate. We're here for Coastline Kids Online. Yeah, thanks for coming. It is the Great Bible Bake Off this term, and our bakers in the tent were challenged to make a sweet dish that looked like a savoury one. Now, Judas was challenged to make a fresh start this week and not cheat, but he has snuck some anchovies onto Peter's sweet pizza. Let's have a look at the judging.
Judas, we'll start with you. What have you made us?
Well, it's a burger, duh.
It's nice, but it's just a burger. It's not sweet at all. You haven't followed the assignment.
Yes it is. I removed the gherkins. That's the only thing that means it technically doesn't have to be defined as a cake. So now there's no gherkins in it. It's technically a cake because of the amount of pure sugar in the burger.
Is that from McDonald's, you cheat? Peter, let's try your sweet pizza.
Yeah, enjoy.
These are actual anchovies. Gross. That doesn't go well with chocolate spread at all.
What? How did this happen?
John, I'd like to refresh my palate. Let's try your banana sushi.
Yes, tastes better when you use the chopsticks.
Okay. Oh yeah, that is delicious.
Okay, bakers, Dan has made his decision. This week's star baker is... Yeah, probably me. It's John! Congratulations!
Yippee!
I can't believe I got tricked. Judas put anchovies on my pancake, and I tried so hard. I thought I was going to win. Amazing. Right, watch all the full Bake Off episodes on the Coastline Kids YouTube channel now. There's a full playlist with every single one. You can watch them in order. Have a lovely time. And while you're at it, while you're there, you should subscribe. We're up to 175 subscribers, and I reckon we should aim for 200 by the end of the summer. So you better subscribe, and you better tell your friends too as well. Okay, right, at the end of today's video, we're gonna watch the clip of the pie from Sunday, and let me be honest with you, it was a really messy one. It was chaotic. You're gonna have to look out for that at the end of the video. Right, now then, what is the worst illness you've ever had? Have a little think about it. What time have you been ill? Maybe you broke a bone? Have you ever broken a bone? Or been like really sick? Or, I don't know, think about the worst illness you've ever had. I'm sure you can remember a time when you felt absolutely lousy and really, really ill. I hate being ill. It's rubbish, isn't it? Let me tell you about one time when I wasn't very well. It's my science story. We'll call it the science story, I guess. So I was sat in a science lesson. Do you like science at school? Right? To be honest, it was all right, right? But this science lesson was a little bit boring. The teacher, and this was in secondary school, so we sat on those big desks. You have big desks in science in secondary school for some reason, and big chairs. I was sat there trying to keep my back straight because there's no backs on the chairs. The teacher was talking and talking and talking and talking, and I suddenly started to feel a little bit funny, right? Maybe I just needed the toilet. So I thought, when the teacher stops talking, I'll pop my hand up and I'll ask to go to the toilet. You know, don't want to make a scene in the middle of the lesson, interrupt him. But the teacher kept on speaking. It was so boring. And eventually I realised I needed to get to the toilet quick or something bad was going to happen. So I put my hand up and eventually the teacher asked me what was going on. I said, I don't feel so well, sir. Please, can I go to the toilet? He said yes, right? So feeling really, really rubbish now, I stood up, turned towards the door, and I threw up all over the floor. I walked another couple of steps and I threw up all over my shoes this time. It was gross, right? I went straight home and spent the next couple of days sat on the sofa with a sick bucket to the side of me. And then when I felt a bit better, I slowly went back to school and started to do more and more. But over those couple of days, all I had the energy to do was to sit and watch TV, which, to be honest, is probably the best part about being ill, isn't it, getting to watch TV? Luckily for me, though, I've never really been very seriously ill. In fact, I haven't been to the doctor in years. In our Bible passage for today, Simon's mother-in-law got very, very sick. Now, this is another Bible passage about Simon, like one we had a couple of weeks ago, but Simon actually has another name. Can anyone remember it? Peter. Right, so Peter, we'll call him Peter from now on, it's just easier to remember. Peter and everyone else was begging Jesus to heal his mother-in-law who was sick. Think about when you really, really want something, like maybe you want a new PlayStation, right? And you've got to try and convince your adults at home to get you one. You go, please, 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 I'll play educational games. Yeah, and then maybe they'll get you one. So anyway, they pleaded with Jesus, they begged him, please, please heal my mother-in-law. And then Jesus healed her, and she got better instantly. She got up, and you know what she did? This is the crazy thing. She, as soon as she got up, she made them a meal. A meal! Can you believe that? She's just been super duper ill, and then suddenly she's better, and she makes them all food. I mean, if that was me, I'd get someone else to make the food. I've just been super ill. It's the one time, right? This is the second best thing about being ill. Besides, the first one is watching TV. The second thing is you can tell your parents to do anything for you, and they'll do it, right? It's like, fetch me some water! And they have to because you're ill. It's brilliant, right? So anyway, she makes them a meal. What is your favourite food? Absolute favourite food in the world? What would you have if you'd just come back from being really, really ill? Anyway, the news travels fast throughout the village, right? All the sick people start coming to Jesus and he heals them all, every single one of them, every kind of disease. You've got blind people that can see. You've got deaf people that can hear again. You've got broken bones that have been mended. You've even got that guy that comes along and he goes, sorry, excuse me, Jesus. On my left foot, right, when I sort of move my foot to the side and my knee and then I bend and I stretch my arm out like this, oh yeah, then my big toe hurts, just a fraction. Jesus healed him too. He healed everyone that was sick, no matter what their diseases were. Have you ever prayed for someone to be healed before? I have. Have you ever seen someone get healed before when you've prayed for them? I have as well. It's amazing, isn't it, that Jesus heals? But let me tell you something, this Bible passage has taken on a lot more meaning for me recently, because just under 2 years ago, my mother-in-law, like Peter's, got very, very sick. And she wasn't looking too well. And do you know what? We prayed and we prayed and we pleaded that she would be healed. And we had people praying all through the night, 24 hours a day. But unfortunately, my story doesn't end in the same way that Peter's story ends. My story doesn't have a happy ending because she passed away. She didn't get healed, she died. And you know what? That's really, really sad. And it's really hard, and the past 2 years have been really horrible. I wonder if you've had an experience like that. We know that Jesus can heal everyone. We just read about it in the passage. But sometimes people don't get healed. Well, why not? I'll be completely honest with you, and I'll tell you, right? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know why sometimes people don't get healed. But what I do know is that when people don't get healed, it makes Jesus really sad too. There was one time when Jesus' friend had died and he found out about it, and it says in the Bible that he cried. He cried and he cried. Even though he was going to bring him back to life later on, he still cried because he was so sad. I know one other thing as well. One other thing is that one day there is hope. We are going to be with Jesus in paradise. There's going to be no more illness. There's going to be no more suffering. There's going to be no more pain. We won't ever need to be healed again. Can you imagine that? Imagine a day with a world with no sick days. You'll never have to have a day off. You'll never throw up. You'd be running along the street, right? You fall over onto the floor and you just get back up and carry on again because it wouldn't even hurt. So, those are the things. I don't know why. I don't know why sometimes we get healed and sometimes we don't. I do know that Jesus gets sad when we don't get healed. And I also do know that one day we will never be in pain again. So what should we do? What should we do, right? Should we give up praying for healing because sometimes people don't get healed? Should we do that? Absolutely not. No, we should keep praying, keep asking Jesus to heal people. And you know what? Sometimes we won't see healing happen, but sometimes we will. And I don't know about you, but I would rather pray for healing and see nothing at all for years and years and years if it meant that just one time I got to see someone healed. So what we're going to do, we're going to pray boldly for healing for people, aren't we? Let's do that now. Let's spend some time praying now. I'd like you to take a moment to think of someone you know, right, who isn't very well, and we're going to pray for them right now. I'll teach you a really, really simple prayer. Have you got someone in your head then? Okay, if you can't think of anyone, what you could do, you could pray for me, right? I'll take that. Sometimes I get nosebleeds in my right nostril, right? Happens quite often, happened for ages, right? And I'd like them to stop, so you can pray for me. Okay, here's how you're gonna pray then. It's 5 words, and you're gonna repeat them after me. Let me tell you what they are first, and then we'll do it all together, okay? So it's Dear God, right? There's the first 2. Dear God, you can do that. Heal, and then the name of the person. So if you're praying for me, heal Michael. And then, finally, Amen, right? Dear God, heal Michael, Amen. That's what we're gonna do. Right, are you ready? You're gonna repeat after me. Remember to fill in the name Michael for someone else's name, the person that you're praying for. Okay, are we ready? Dear God, heal Michael, Amen. Epic. Right, I think we should see the pie from this week. Have a watch of this.
3, 2, 1.
Really smear it in.
Brilliant. He is so messy. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.